All right, we are live. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to This Weekend Loaded. All right, so yeah, that says we're live. So, StreamYard says we're live, so I guess we are live. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This Week Unloaded. I think this is 172. My count is correct. That's a lot of episodes. And just like Gizzard Gary, we're nearing our 50th anniversary coming up in a couple of months here. So, where the hell does the time go? I don't know. But with us tonight, we got Mr. Jason Stewart, the show's co-host. How are you tonight, Jason?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Rich. Good to see you. Good to see you, Rob. People in the chat.
And next, we have the aforementioned Rob, aka New York Outcast. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. Doing better, I should say. Yeah, thanks for joining us out there, or if you're catching on a replay. See, there's a lot of shows going on around this time for some reason.
Yeah, no,
And Rich
right.
was supposed to start this like 5 minutes ago, but he was telling us about his wild police chases.
No, it's more like you were complaining about the cops pulling you over for having an air freshener hanging from your rearview mirror. But
Sure. He always
Jason,
blames me. But hey,
yeah.
it's good to
Hey,
see you folks.
hey, let me hop out and hop back in.
Oh, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is click the three dots and just reset your avatar. Your
3 dots on StreamYard?
yeah. See where
I
your
can see it
little
on StreamYard.
yeah. See where your little thing is down there at the bottom. Oh, not that. Okay, you got on the thing at the bottom. You got the picture of you. You know where you enlarge your picture like what you just did there. Then you got the microphone, and then there's the three dots. You click on those three dots, and you'll see Edit Audio Avatar. Just click that, and then just pick your avatar again. That should fix it. Rob's playing with Hot Wheels.
Yeah, they're a little bigger than Hot Wheels.
That one looked like something you would see in Scooby Doo. Yeah, that one. Speaking of Scooby Doo, have you seen the latest Scooby Doo nonsense that they've just pulled with that?
No, I haven't. Hopefully they didn't goof that up too.
Oh, they did. They done made Velma a lesbian.
Oh boy.
She always was she?
No, she was always googly eyed for some guy. I mean, in the one Scooby Doo series, her and Shaggy were dating.
Velma was probably a freak. Like they screwed that one up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the meek ones with the glasses and stuff. Oh yeah, they're always a freak when you get them
Mhm.
alone.
They play that innocent shit. Hmm.
Uh huh. But yeah, they done turned her into a lesbian. And the birthday girls out in the chat. Hey, Stacy, happy birthday again. I mean, we already told you that this morning, but tell you again. Speaking of the YouTube, oh, good. What did you say, Rob?
I was just gonna say happy birthday.
All right. And speaking of the YouTube chat, let's see who's out there. We got Kingpin, who is over on Scotsman's panel and probably still over there. G23 was next, and then Patriot in the Dark. Jason out there in the chat as well. Gary's out there, and Stacy. So that's who we got, at least that we know who's out there. If you're out there and you're not saying nothing, we don't know you're there. Oh, there's Moo. Don't say what? Patriot, I wasn't going to say nothing. Jeez, man. I tell you what, man. These Marines, I don't know. Now he's complaining that there's no mud. Usually there's no midgets. Now there's no mud and he's complaining. I don't know about that guy.
Oh man, you got that video I sent you?
What video?
The one from we were talking last week. I think I sent it to you and I sent it to Patriot. That short.
Yeah, I think I did. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about now, yeah. That was messed up.
Funny stuff, right? Funny stuff.
Oh, I didn't say it wasn't funny. I said it was messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up, but you know, we're good enough people. We can still laugh. I mean, you got to be able to laugh. I mean, that's funny.
So I was like, oh, fuck. No, we're not talking about Bubbles, Patriot, either, so.
I was shocked. I had found it again. It popped back up when I was scrolling through, and I was like, "Oh man, yep, I got to send that out."
Yeah, Patriot found the music hilarious anyway.
I figured that probably wouldn't be completely ideal, but he's got a way of seeing things. I don't know, so figured, didn't want to leave him out, disclude the guy. I mean, it came from his comment that made me think of it anyway. So
his echolocation radar skills, like Daredevil, don't let him actually see video. You can't, but he
knows which chick's hot and which one isn't.
That's because the echolocation thing you ever read I don't know if you've ever read Daredevil comic book or anything, but his echolocation lets him, it's like an ultrasound that comes back, but it's more of a 3D image, so he can see that way.
A 3D ultrasound.
Yeah, basically.
Well, if that's the case, why do all you blind guys keep bumping into girls and claiming it's an accident?
Dude, that's their.
If you can get away with it, why not?
Yeah, that's how they get away with that shit, dude. They're blind. That's how they get away with it. They get a chance to feel them up before they know if they want to date them or not. So.
He's probably cursing us out right now.
But yeah, they done went and turned Velma gay. So.
Oh man, I didn't even know they were doing a new Scooby-Doo. So I mean, I suppose they are.
Run down for me a minute. Which one's Thelma?
Velma's the one with the glasses, the orange sweater.
Okay. So the hot babe was
Daphne.
Daphne. Okay.
But was she really hot though?
I thought Delma was a dyke, man.
No, she was just nerdy. She seriously was chasing after some guys in some of the episodes of Scooby-Doo and shit.
The cartoon?
Yeah. In the one episode, the one Scooby-Doo series, her and Shaggy were dating.
I don't remember Selma being the cartoon hoe, but maybe, I don't know. It's been a long time.
I didn't say she was a hoe.
She was a hoe or nothing like that, yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't a slut or anything. Good Lord, Jason.
The guy, I can't remember his name.
Cartoon hormone. A walking cartoon hormone.
There were times where Velma would see a cute guy that's involved in one of the cases, and you would see her eyes turn into hearts and shit.
And then she'd rip his mask off, and it was really some mean old man.
Nah, usually it would end up being the guy that she liked was the villain. She didn't have a good track record with picking him. Maybe that's why she switched teams. I don't know.
Relatable to a lot of women. I mean, some just have that natural tact to, or knack to want to go for the bad boy and then be pissed about it because they couldn't change him. So you see that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's guys that are like in the chats and shit where they were talking about this, where they're like, "Oh, well, Velma was always a lesbian." Like Jason was saying, he's like, "No, there's absolutely zero evidence that says that Velma was ever a lesbian." Like,
Well, it doesn't mean she's locked into the decision. I mean, she can free to have whatever she wants. I mean, hell, she's pretty damn friendly with the dog too.
well, the
Was that
dog's a
show based out
pothead,
of Canada?
huh?
Was that show based out of Canada?
No, U.S.
Okay, just checking because that whole dog and the girl thing.
Yeah. We're not going there, man. Them Canadians are freaky, and their Supreme Court's worse.
So I don't remember. So was Thelma falling all over the Harlem Globetrotters?
No, Velma was not falling all over the Harlem Globetrotters.
See, told you, she's a dyke.
Oh man, some girls just don't like black guys.
Well, if you look at the original '60s,
the way it's not a big deal.
You look at the original late '60s Scooby-Doo. None of them were actually trying to get in anybody's pants. It was like the later ones when you got into the '70s and '80s, where they started where they would be getting googly-eyed over a hot chick in case of Shaggy or Freddy, or a dude in case of Velma and Daphne, and they started doing the innuendo with where Daphne and Freddy dating or not dating, that kind of that didn't start until later. But the original series, they really didn't do anything on that scale because it was really a kids show, and you didn't start throwing the adult stuff in until the kids that were watching Scooby-Doo as kids started getting older instead of teens and shit. That's when they started adding that kind of element to it.
Shit, I bet Metal Lark and Curly was making a plan for Thelma, man.
Velma, and she would have been a minor, so remember when Scooby-Doo started, they were in high school still. So I mean, if they want to make a play for Velma, that's jailbait.
I want to know what was in those Scooby snacks.
Shit, Shaggy and come on, man. It's quite obvious Shaggy and Scooby were potheads. Look at the shit they were eating. Those two always had the munchies. But a couple of the episodes, they specify how Shaggy was a track star in high school, which is why he was able to run away from the monsters as fast as he was. And then there was another episode where he was a gymnast. He was supposed to be a gymnast in school. So, I mean, yeah, Shaggy apparently, with being the pothead looking dude that he was the star athlete, not Freddy. Freddy's one you would think would be the jock. I mean, look at how broad shoulders that guy had and everything. He's the one that looked like he should be on a jock, but no, apparently it was Shaggy.
People can surprise you.
Mm-hmm. Gary says, "Welcome to Politically Incorrect with Rich White." Man, don't let me in with Bill Maher like that. Come on, Gary. I got standards. Not very high.
Remember qualifications, people getting done. The first thing they do is drop and then light up a cigarette. It's funny, man. Sometimes some of these health people, they do live some crazy lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, gee. Scooby-Doo was a melting pot of society. We just didn't recognize it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, you had the stoner. Remember, this was back in the 60s when, so you had the stoner kid. You had the guy that looked like he should have been the jock. Meanwhile, the stoner kid was the jock, which was a weird twist. But then later Scooby-Doo episodes, they said Freddy was a wrestler, so maybe Freddy was a jock back in high school, back in the old ones too. They just never really said anything. You had the rich girl, who was Daphne. the nerdy chick who was Velma, and then the stoner kid's dog who was able to talk and help solve crimes. Well, okay. That would be a hallucination from all of them dropping acid at some point.
So was that van a Ford or Chevy?
I believe that's a Ford.
It might have been a Ford.
Yeah, I believe it was a Ford.
Then the show's fake. You know, they would have been pushing it a whole lot more.
Could have been a Dodge. You know, it's really hard to tell with that
That's
paint
true.
scheme.
It's a Ford. It's the little Ford F100s at the time. The E100s. I actually had one, man. It was a 69 or a 70, and even back then when you opened the side doors, a footstep swung out from the bottom of it.
Let's see. Now,
They were small. They were a smaller van.
Yeah, the fence dad's in here late, so he doesn't know. We were already talking about that, and it's not the next movie. It's the one that just came out on video for Halloween. So, yeah, that's the one where Velma is supposed to be a lesbian.
I don't know why they don't just leave stuff alone, man. All these remakes and
Long as-
everything. I mean,
long as
yeah,
she
bad
ain't a-
enough.
Transgender, she-male or whatever. I'm fine with a lesbian. She,
No,
she
that'll
can
be
love
next.
whoever she wants, but
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, if it wasn't the thing, then why is it a thing now? I mean, why
Yeah,
do we have
that's-
to switch it for culture? Why can't we just enjoy the show for the show? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Scooby-Doo was never overly sexualized to that point where that should be anything in that series anyway. It's a kids' show. I mean, ultimately, it is a kids' show. Why is it important to be putting that stuff? If you want to, make a new character. Why do you got to take characters that have already been established for over 50 years now and change them?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like that new Mustang. I mean, what the hell are they thinking?
Well, it's not just Velma that they've done this to. They've done it with comic book characters. There's an iteration of Green Lantern that takes place in one of the multiverses of the DC Universe who was already an established character, and they made him gay. They took Iceman in Marvel Comics and made him gay. These were established characters who were known as womanizers, and they made them both gay.
It's payback, apparently. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're messing stuff up. Like, if you're gonna copy it, then copy it. Modernize it, make it a better, develop the story a little better. There's better action. There's better whatever, CGI, whatever crap you use now. But enhance the story, but don't change it into, change it all. That's just weird. In my opinion, I don't know. I'd say that all those movies. And personally, I'd prefer you just made a new damn movie. I don't understand why everything's got to be a remake of a remake of a remake now. Yeah, it's almost the same thing with music in some cases. Like, originality's gone. I mean, I don't know what's happened. I mean, yes, so many plots are out there, so many things have been done, but different people put a different take on it. It's really rare to watch a movie and not know what's going to happen next. It's getting sad.
No, man, I disagree, Rob. Change is good, and this little thing here could just be the spark. So right now it's her and Scooby-Doo, and you're like, why change it and everything? I'm like, change is good. Let her be a lesbian. Let's redo other shows like that. Like, for instance, let's take Three's Company and make the two girls lesbians. Like, hell, I could write 200 episodes myself right now.
But,
You know what I mean?
Jason, your episodes wouldn't make
show.
it. Your episodes wouldn't make it on TV. Yours would make it on Pornhub. There's a difference.
Exactly. There's probably already stuff like that out there, buddy.
Yeah, but I'm just making a point. I mean, you could make things better by a few changes, a few tweaks. You know what I mean? It's possible. You don't have to be so negative on everything.
But Patriot brings up they used to dig those rock girl bands on the later. Yeah, the Hex Girls. They could have took one of the Hex Girls and made her a lesbian if they wanted to put that kind of thing into it, because they never really went into their sexuality in any way. You don't see them dating anybody or anything in the any of the series really. So they could have made one of them a lesbian and still got their lesbian storyline with somebody else, but who was friends with them instead of having to turn one of the main cast, who has been an established character for 50 years and nowhere in the story anywhere was she ever attracted to a female in any way, shape, or form. And
I,
See now, defense that. See, defense that. I understand because Daisy Dig. I hate to mess with the pure classics, but just think about what if Daisy had a super hot friend, right? See what I'm going? Don't be so negative. It ain't like Daisy's gonna pick some bull dyke with a chain on her wallet. You know what I mean? What if you
you
had
don't know
like
that.
two daisies? You know what I mean? A bouquet of daisies. I mean, like a flower basket's better than just one flower. You know.
Yeah,
still don't understand why there's gotta be a lesbian though. And it's not like I have something against lesbians. I'm just statistically, when you look at the numbers of things, I mean, yes, there's lesbians, there's gay people, there's all those others. I don't even know, I don't want to,
we
get
ain't
the
going
wrong
there, Rob.
definition.
Let's not
But
even go there.
anyway,
We ain't going
but
down that
you
rabbit
know,
hole.
when you look at the numbers, like every household, every person, everybody doesn't necessarily like everything isn't that way. You know what I mean? Like, still statistically to this day, I mean, statistically, most households are semi normal. I mean, they may not be normal, but I don't know. I don't know how to say it wrong. Basically, like, that's it. Realistically, gay, all that stuff's a small segment of society,
Yeah,
but yet
extremely
it's
small.
pushed on all of society. I don't understand. Like, it's in every cartoon, every TV show. What the hell's going on? Like, I like, you're not supposed to force shit on people, but it's everywhere now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people should just do what they want to do, but don't force shit on me, and I won't force shit on you. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I think what you're getting at is statistically, not every show should have everybody having a gay friend.
Yes. I guess in a lot cleaner and simpler way. Yes. Thank you, Rich.
Yeah, we've been joined right
Because
there, bro.
once
Oh,
they started this rabbit hole that we went down with these TV shows and the media and the commercials, now if you don't have a gay guy or a gay couple or something in it, they hate you. You're a racist, a bigot, a homophobe. You're a terrible company. You're a terrible show. It's like they're locked into that has to be part of the commercial. Because, like, what's on TV? I hate to watch TV, but see it all the time. I mean, they'd be selling you insurance or a credit card or something, and they gotta slip in a couple like that, or they gotta have scenes of this or that. You know what I mean? You just can't, like, why don't you just give me a commercial? Don't have like no people in it at all.
yeah,
It's a
because they
credit card.
they got to
It's a
politicize everything.
it's a damn sandwich at McDonald's. You know what I mean? I don't need the family skate plotted out in front of my eyes. You know what I mean? Just sell your product. Quit selling me an agenda, an idea, and a social acceptance. Just sell me your product, man. Show me your product. Tell me it's a good product. Tell me it's built good. It's made in America. Skip all the background scenery. You know.
Yeah. And real quick, we've been joined by Orange Nine out there in the chat. So evening to you, sir. Oh God, Patriot says, but Rich, I heard they were doing Daisy Duke with hijab in the upcoming. That would be even okay. Now we got to do a poll. We got to do a poll. Okay. And I'm gonna put this out there. And this is all Patriots' fault. All right. There we go. There's the poll. Which will be the worst Daisy Duke reboot, a lesbian or a Muslim? So there you go, Patriot. That
Worst,
poll's
right?
just for you.
Oh God, is this even a question?
I just put the poll out there in the YouTube chat. You got to pick one or the other, Gary.
Daisy Duke with a
Gary said
backpack and a
both.
rocket launcher. Remember when Bo and Luke, like one of them, like lean out of the car and they got like their dynamite on their bow and arrow and they shoot the outhouse and blow it up. Imagine Daisy leaning out of the car with like a rocket launcher.
That was Ellie Mae,
Completely
Patriot.
covered. And they'd obviously have to be family.
G23 says lesbian Muslim. No, she wouldn't survive that long. She'd have been beheaded.
She got a charger with the Samoan flag on top.
Okay, Orange 9 brings up his smiley face challenge. So when we're done here, head over to Orange 9's channel if you folks would. He's got a challenge out there for everybody where he's giving away a fairly decent firearm for people out there for the winner of the competition. I will put a link to the video in the chat. Go over there when we are done. And find out what he's doing. I think it's a pretty cool idea what he's got going on. So there is the link in the YouTube chat to Orange 9's challenge for everybody. So again, save that link, and when we're done here, go over there and check that out and get him some people entered in that. So yeah, he's got $1,000 customized Beretta Bobcat Covert 22 that he had done in a Cerakote job and everything on it, that he is giving away to whoever wins that challenge. So get out there and you might win yourself a fairly decent little pistol.
Kingpin's out there.
Is that the tilt barrel?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see. Now we've been joined by your lady out there, Rob. So,
Oh,
evening.
shit. Trouble now.
Yeah. Can't be talking about your favorite lesbians now, Rob.
Uh-huh. Rob talking about having threesomes with Velma and Daphne and shit in here.
Oh,
Three's
boy.
Company girls and Daisy Duke.
Uh-huh. And making Daisy dress up like a Muslim. I mean, God damn. Rob telling us all kinds of the freaky shit he's into before you got in here.
Battle of the network lesbians.
Uh-huh. Well, so far, Muslim is beating lesbian. We got 71% saying Muslim and 29% saying lesbian. And you are quite welcome, Orange 9. It said, I think it's a cool idea. Right now, I just don't have the money to be able to do it with range fees and everything and having to get caught up on the bills from when my wife was out of work for her surgery and whatnot. So, oh, G23 says Rob would rather have Shaggy.
Oh, bitch.
You know what? Now that I think about it, if they were going to turn the character in that show gay, wouldn't Freddy be the obvious choice with that ascot?
The
Hell, his
dude
name's
with
Freddy. That settles
the
the
sweatshirt and a white scarf and shit.
The
man.
white shirt
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
orange scarf. Yeah.
Definitely.
But no, he's the one that's dating the hot chick millionaire kid.
She's not that hot.
No,
And
she was supposed to
maybe
be in
it's
the
just
series.
a cover situation.
They're just friends, Rich.
Uh-huh. Well, no, in that one series, they actually were dating. They ended up getting engaged and shit. That was Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. They ended up getting. I don't remember if they got married at the end of the series or not, but they were engaged on the show. That one was early mid 2000s, I think, when that one came out. There's every decade since the 1960s, there has been a new Scooby-Doo series. Every single decade. That is one of the longest running franchises in cartoons right now. That's been in almost constant production of some form or another.
No, wait a minute, Orange. Daisy Duke was real. She was real. Settle down.
I did a job one time. And I was finishing up, sealing up, getting paid, all that crap. And I was at a restaurant, this pizza place. This guy pops up. I don't know. I don't know if he owned the place or what was going on. Like this silent partner guy. He wanted my girl to dress up like Daisy and run a food truck. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was like, well, he came and asked me first, and I was like, well, she's a free individual. You're gonna have to talk to her. And she turned it down. It wasn't long after we got together, so I was kind of curious what she was gonna say, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah, if Gary says it wouldn't matter, all of them would be well into their 70s by now. They'd be in the late 60s. They were in high school when it started. So
The cartoon people?
17, 18. Huh?
Cartoon people don't get
yeah,
older.
Yeah. Well, some cartoons people age, but Scooby-Doo they haven't. Well, not aged a lot, because when they got into where they were doing the cartoon movies in the 2000s, they were a little bit older. They were in their mid to late 20s in that show.
Scooby-Doo be like 490 years old.
Nah, dude, dogs don't age like that. That's like 4 years in dog years.
Yeah, Scooby would have died a long time ago, let's be honest. Scooby wouldn't have made it out in the 70s. Not with his diet. Again, if they were real. No, they were born in 1969, Gary. Come on. Cartoons don't, unless you're like the Flintstones, you don't give birth to people in cartoons. They're just there. They're born when they're first drawn. So, yeah, even then they'd only be in their 50s then. So.
Other kids could pick up the torch. Like how we were talking earlier, as far as some of these remakes and things like that, that's somewhat okay, because then that justifies the movie being a little different or things or something like that, but still the same kind of baseline storyline. That's cool.
You know what we need to do? We need to hook Gary up with Pebbles Flintstone. They're about the same age.
I always liked them redheads.
Mm-hmm. And she did grow up too. I mean, there were some Flintstones episodes where she was an adult. So, yeah, we need to hook Gary up with Pebbles Flintstone. The thing is, cartoons don't physically age, so Gary can have the hot little cave girl down the street. Because when Pebbles got older, she was supposed to have been like this model and shit. So And now we're just getting too weird.
Yeah, real weird.
Yeah. Like, what the hell, bro? There's places to go for stuff like that,
Yeah. I blame it on not having much sleep.
I blame it on something.
I think Orange 9 fell out of his chair. He's saying, "Can somebody help me up?"
That Pebbles was a fine little thing, though.
Oh, he wants Veronica. I'm assuming he's talking about from the Archies.
You talking about like Pebbles from the Flintstones
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
or
she
something?
grew
Wasn't she like 12 or something?
No, they
No.
grew up where she was a
Like, what the
teenager and
hell?
stuff.
No,
and
there
shit,
was the one episode of the Flintstones. Remember when
No,
Fred
I
fell
don't
asleep?
remember. Goddamn.
Fred fell asleep at the company picnic, and he was dreaming. And it was like a Rip Van Winkle kind of thing. And Pebbles was all grown up, and she was getting married to somebody. I forget. I don't
It's
remember if it
starting
was
to sound
Bam
like a
Bam or not.
weird Al Bundy episode.
So Gary, Betty or Veronica? Then I mean, you said Veronica there. Well, Betty or Veronica? By the way, Betty's mother, Alice, is where the band Alice Cooper and and eventually the singer for the band took the name Alice Cooper from. Was the Archies. He said he ain't dating anybody that has a pet dinosaur. Well, that's good because you're not dating Fred, you're dating his daughter. Fred's the one who owned Dino.
Ain't dating anybody whose dad has a dinosaur.
No, he said has a pet dinosaur. He didn't say anything about her dad having the dinosaur. He said she couldn't have the dinosaur. Well, she didn't. Her dad did. It was her dad's dog, Dogosaurus. I think that's what they called it. But anyway, he still hasn't answered the question. Betty or Veronica? Since you're more into the Archies.
What, are you trying to mail the guy a doll or something?
I don't know. He's the one that brought up Veronica, so I said Betty or Veronica. By the way, if we're talking about the Riverdale series that was on the CW, I don't know if it's still on or not. In that show, definitely Betty. But
What about the lady chicken with the glasses from Rhode Island Red?
God,
Foghorn Leghorn.
man, that was Foghorn's chick, man.
I don't think he wanted her.
He ended up married to her in the one.
No idea who you're speaking of.
Oh, the little scrawny little chicken with the glasses and the blue hat that was always
Yeah.
chasing after Foghorn Leghorn.
I don't know nothing about any of that.
Oh my God, Looney Tunes, Rob.
The chicken dude?
Yeah, Foghorn
Yeah.
Leghorn, the rooster. He always had that little scrawny chicken with the blue hat and the glasses chasing after him.
Yeah, I don't remember. Honestly, how do you guys remember all this shit?
Because we got kids, or I got kids
Well,
anyway.
I got kids too, but shit, cartoons.
My kids watch Cartoon Network all the time when they were little. That's how I remember half of this shit. It wasn't all that long ago.
It was Maya, Miguel. I mean, there was all that was like the time frame cartoons I didn't watch. I don't know.
No, the Chicken Hawk was another character. I can't remember what the hell this female chicken's name was, but she was really scrawny. She had these big ass glasses, and she wore a blue hat.
Yeah.
How old are my kids? My youngest is 22, just turned 22 this year.
Damn, Rich, 22.
Uh-huh.
Time to get him off the cartoons, brother.
Well, she's the one that moved out. Shit, my wife still watches cartoons. What the hell are you talking about? My wife will still turn Cartoon Network on. Or she did when they still showed good cartoons. The shit they got on there now is terrible. They replaced all the good classic cartoons with all this stupid new shit that they make themselves, and they all suck.
Well, come on. Some of those classics are just that. Like, you guys have probably memorized or fantasized about some of this stuff, whatever. Gone back and looked at it, like, to show your kids. And, it's a good story. It's good, but it's not holding their attention. They're just, it's old. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost got the crackly lines from VHS in it, stuff like that. Like I I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of something I did recently. Not recently, but something similar like that. But some of these, they just don't hold up to the younger folks. You know, doesn't mean the same. It was different then. You know,
No,
so
I'm gonna have to say no. My kids, they watched GI Joe, they watched Transformers and all that, and they
like
like them just as
Transformers, I never
yeah,
watched that shit. Come on,
yeah. They
man. You
watch
know what?
no, they watched GI
Like
Joe, they
some of
watched
that stuff was
Transformers,
crap back then.
they watched the series all the way through. Transformers, GI Joe, Voltron, they watched all of that shit because they would have that on the different cartoon channels on cable. They had Dish Network and that. They watched all that stuff.
Uh,
I don't know, man. I raised a lot of kids on watching what I watched, man. Horror movies, comedies. I lost that kid, man. Just if they've seen every horror movie there ever was, love them.
Shit.
They all turned out great. They ain't psycho killers or nothing.
Yeah, my kids watched that stuff too. Well, my oldest daughter did. My youngest daughter, she and son, they weren't really into the horror movies. But my oldest daughter and I, we would sit and we watch horror movies all the time. We would sit and we watch the original Halloween, and we'd laughing our asses off at scenes because when you watch it for the umpteenth time and you know what's coming, and it's just funny as hell the reaction that like in the original Halloween movie, the one that John Carpenter did that Jamie Lee Curtis was like, I think it was like her first movie or whatever, where he picks the dude up in the kitchen and takes a knife and sticks him to the cabinet and just turns his head like, did I do that? Kind of looking at the guy. We just both lost it. That movie has some dark humor in it if you sit there and actually pay attention to what's going on in that movie.
Remember the Goonies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a movie.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't think my kids would like it the way I liked it. I didn't. That's not the example I was thinking of, but I had them watch something recently, and
Oh, my kids loved that movie.
it was crazy. Like they
My
were
kids
like,
loved the
"Oh
Goonies.
yeah, it was nice."
Dude, your kids are just weird, I think, Rob. My kids
It
love the
wasn't
Goonies.
Goonies. I can't think of what it was that I had them watch, but yeah, no, I like it. Like I loved Goonies. Goonies was awesome, man. Like Chunk, Baby Ruth, like yeah, it's legendary. But I don't think our kids would see it that way.
Uh, my son, me and him will walk around just like quoting Blazing Saddles and Blues Brothers and shit. So I don't know.
See, I think we need more movies like that. You know, a modern Goonies or something. How come there's no remakes of that shit or whatever? I mean,
Um, that's basically what the series Stranger Things started out as. Have you ever seen? I don't know if you've seen Stranger Things on Netflix or not.
nah,
That
I
was
don't.
very
I-
80s reminiscent because it was set in the 80s, but it was like sci-fi and it was a bunch of kids and there was all kinds of like 80s references to when like we were being kids and stuff. And my oldest daughter and I, we sat and we watched the first season. She loved it. So we never did watch season 2, 3, or 4. Just never got around to watching it. I mean, season 1 was really good. Just never got around to watching the rest of it. Gary's out there talking about Speed Racer. Yeah, grew up watching the old reruns of Speed Racer. Sprite and Chim Chim always hiding in the trunk of the Mach 5. Why exactly did a race car have a trunk? Can somebody explain that? I mean, I don't know.
All right, man. You should have made a bracket, man. Best cartoons.
Well, you'd have to pick an era or something, unless you went like absolute best. But I don't know. That would be
Seven- Like
a
80s,
million.
70s, 80s cartoons, man.
Yeah.
Flintstones, Underdog.
And Gary's like the reruns we speak of. He watched them when they originally ran. Well, on a technicality, You watched a rerun of Speed Racer dubbed into English. Oh, Woody Woodpecker was great.
I always liked DuckTales. And it was Inspector Gadget.
DuckTales was
That was
awesome.
all right.
DuckTales was awesome. We would sit in music class and we would just spontaneously break out into singing the DuckTales theme song, just to irritate our music teacher.
Underdog, Space Ghost,
Did you ever watch
Hair Bear.
Did you ever watch the talk show that they had Space Ghost hosting in the 90s, Space Ghost Coast to Coast? You never saw that? That shit was hilarious. That shit was hilarious. It was on, I believe it originally aired on TBS at like 11 o'clock at night. Then they put it on Cartoon Network at one point. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that shit was funny. Johnny Quest was good.
G.I. Joe was good.
What was that, Jason? Sorry.
G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah, like I said, my kids watched G.I. Joe. They watched the entire series and the movies.
Nowadays, man, I like American Dad and Family Guy.
I haven't watched any of that in I don't know how long. I just got bored with it. That and The Simpsons, okay, they've ran their course.
Shit, I bet Gary remembers Gumby.
Shit, dude, Gumby was on TV when we were kids. What are you talking about, Rob?
You mean Eddie Murphy? That Gumby? Or the cartoon Gumby?
You said about the claymation cartoon Gumby. But shit, man, that shit was still on when we were kids in new episodes, Rob. Good lord.
This damn cat shedding all over me, man.
See, I call Rob Bell for trying to call Gary old for watching Gumby when that shit was still on when we were kids, and he changed the subject to his cat.
Sorry. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. I remember my dad talking about that.
Oh no, Mr. Bill. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was on Saturday Night Live, Mr. Bill. Yeah, Top Cat. Yeah, that's a good one. Top Cat. Used to watch Top Cat before going to school in the morning. One local channel in Pittsburgh would play that. And Hong Kong Phooey, yep.
Yeah. What about the Smurfs, man? Ever watched the Smurfs?
Oh, God, I couldn't stand the Smurfs. My stepsister loved the Smurfs. I couldn't stand them. Little blue freaks. How the hell are there so many goddamn Smurfs if there wasn't even a fucking female Smurf until Gargamel created one? Where the fuck the hell come from?
See, that's true. Smurfette wasn't a real Smurf.
No. And apparently, I guess Papa Smurf was their dad because they all called him Papa. And then they had Grandpa Smurf later on. So, where was Grandma Smurf? Where was Mama Smurf? What the fuck's up with that?
Jesus, Rich. Don't be so mean. She died at childbirth, man. Gosh.
Well, I can see Mama Smurf dying in childbirth. Look at all the fucking kids she had. You have 100 tuplets to see if you survive.
Yeah, it was a big litter, man.
But
she didn't make it.
Grandpa only had Papa Smurf, so where was Grandma Smurf?
They're all test tube Smurfs. Does that make you happy now, Rich?
And look how sexualized the Smurfs were too. Because remember the episode when Gargamel creates Smurfette and all the boy Smurfs were all trying to get in her pants? The Smurfs were little freaks, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, you're just jealous because, your whole life you were dreaming of being the only guy on an island full of women. And now it's
What
a
are you trying to say,
girl
Rob?
in
We're
a
jealous of all
little
the
village.
Smurfs? We're
No,
jealous of all the Smurfs
you're
for getting
jealous
to
of
run a
her,
train on
man.
the blind? Is that what you're saying?
You're jealous of her. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not jealous. I do not want a bunch of guys running a train on me like Smurfette would have had. No, thank you.
I don't know. I think you are.
No, I think you're projecting. PNW Wood says it's magic. The new Smurfs just appear. From what? I mean, the one episode you have Grandpa talking about Papa Smurf when he was a kid. Where the hell did he come from?
The stork, man. The stork. They're all just deformed humans from Johnson & Johnson baby powder.
Misfits Darling wants to know favorite cartoon movie.
The Smurfs.
What, the half live action, half
Smurfs 2
animated? The first one of those actually wasn't bad. The first live action Smurfs movie. That was actually kind of funny. But that's not a true cartoon, because if that were the case, I would say Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But.
Okay, my favorite is Beavis and Butthead Do America.
I don't know. I'm just wondering what kind of trouble Scotsman's in right now.
I'm still trying to think. What favorite cartoon movie? I thought you would say Heavy Metal, Jason.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's going way back now.
Well, they had the sequel to it, too.
Heavy Metal 2000.
Uh-huh. South Park, the movie, wasn't bad. That was kind of funny. Honestly, I don't know. Never actually thought about it. There's not one that really just stands out as being my favorite.
Yeah, I can't hardly think of too many other than Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead. It was funny, but I think that was just totally done to piss off parents or something. You know what I mean? Like, that was such a debate and shit. I can remember hearing so much shit about that. Didn't matter in my household, but a lot of kids weren't allowed to watch that type of shit.
Yeah, P&W Woods throws out a good one, Battleship Yamamoto, but that's more of a series than a movie. I mean, there was a movie, but there was also a series. That's a anime thing.
Oh, I forgot about like the Disney movies. Yeah, man, like Lion King was good and shit. Oh, was it Watership Down? Ricky Tikki Taffy?
Never ending story.
That's not a cartoon, Rob.
Damn it. It was still good. I'm getting yelled at both ways. Just shut up.
Oh, P&W Woods throws out the animated version of The Hobbit. Yeah, that was good. The one that was done by Rankin Bass, the ones that did all the Christmas specials in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, well, then I forgot about these movies, but the best. Oh, it ain't a cartoon, really, is it?
What?
Like Frosty the Snowman. Yeah,
Frosty's a cartoon, but they're not movies, they're holiday specials.
yeah, and Rudolph and all that. Yeah,
What about
Frosty.
Aladdin?
Aladdin's a movie, it's a cartoon. That would qualify. Unless you're talking about the one with Will Smith, and then you're just weird.
No.
Nobody liked that movie.
I'll take a Magic Carpet.
Yeah, the one with Robin Williams voicing the genie. Is that the one you're talking about? I had the instead of a Mickey Mouse watch, I had a genie watch, the one with Robin Williams genie on it.
See you later, Gizzy.
Bet you had the Backstreet Boys curtains too, didn't you?
No.
Hell, he's got Maroon 5 right now.
Yeah, not quite. I don't even know if I could name a song of theirs, to be honest with you.
So do we have any serious topics tonight?
Fuck, I don't know. We brought up about lesbian Velma, and it turned into this. We gotta look at the poll. So we've got 10 votes. 70% say it would be worse if Daisy Duke were a Muslim. So what we can determine from this is our audience is a bunch of Islamophobes.
Well, let's face it. She would have never made it through the show. Like, she would have been covered the whole time. Like, wouldn't be able to talk. Like, it wouldn't be a show. I don't understand.
Well, no. If they were in the U.S., I mean, if that were the case, we wouldn't have to ever listen to that fucking airhead in Congress. What's her face?
Yeah, it'd never work, though. If Daisy was a Muslim, she wouldn't know how to drive a car.
Well, in the U.S., they can drive. That's only in, like, Saudi Arabia where they have that Sharia shit.
No, I do whole neighborhoods for these people. They don't know how to fucking drive. They do not know what a stop sign is. Or yield, or right of way.
I thought you meant they literally weren't allowed to drive.
No, I just said they can't drive. I meant, yeah. Lack the ability.
See, okay. You meant it one way and I took it another way. Both would be correct.
Oh, I swear to God, right here, man. You see a girl wearing her little headdress and all that in a minivan, you get the hell out of the way, man. You're lucky she don't bash right into you. Do the stupidest thing, change lane, drive straight through a turning lane, whatever. You gotta watch out.
Good Lord. When we went on vacation back in 2016, when we took the kids up to Pittsburgh to go to the zoo and Kennywood and shit, the hotel we were at, this chick who was working the maid service, whatever the hell you want to call it, knocks on the door. She had to our room. I open the door. She starts apologizing like she had to have been just off the boat from over there in the Middle East. She was like, "Calm down, damn! I just opened the door. Calm down. It's okay. You don't have to apologize for doing your job." It's like, holy shit. She legitimately looked scared because I was the one that opened the door, not my wife or one of my daughters.
Look, man. There's protocols, and if you don't know what you're doing, you better be careful.
I know. And I'm like telling her, look, you're not in Saudi Arabia anymore, or wherever you're from. This is the U.S. You're okay here.
Her crazy ass uncle don't care what you think.
Hell no. I've been like, what you want, woman? Just why disturb me, woman? You're too nice to people, Rich. I'd have told her to fly her carpet on the hell out of here.
You guys hear about that family got snatched up recently? All of them wound up dead.
Shit, dude. There was
Yeah, I heard about that,
News.
man. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was wondering if you guys heard any updates or something because, it seemed like maybe it could have been something like that. I don't know.
that
So
wouldn't surprise me.
I
There
know. I
was
just heard they found him. Is all.
a case over in Israel where a gay guy who's from the Palestinian side of things got over into Jerusalem. His family hired somebody to go and kidnap him. They took him back over to the Palestinian side and they cut his head off.
people, well, rich apparently rich knows, but this stuff does happen. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean a lot. Like this family bond shit is strong. Like people. We've gotten sloppy with our culture and stuff, but other people take this shit seriously, like seriously,
Oh yeah,
to
fucking
death
honor killings,
seriously.
man.
Like so I'm saying you gotta be careful, man. Some of these people, it's better just not to put them in a bad situation. No matter how you feel about shit,
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know what you're saying.
things
Yeah,
can get pretty bad.
but I'm like trying to calm the chick down, because she's like freaking out because I was like, no, calm down. You're okay. You're doing your job. You're okay. I was like, I'm not gonna get a whip out and whip you or anything. You're cool. Calm down. I knew where she was coming from already because I studied that shit in school, because I took one of the couple of courses I took were on terrorism and Islam and shit. So I knew what the fuck her deal was. It's just I'm trying to calm her down because she's freaking out because the man answered the door. Over there, if the man answers the door, somebody's in trouble. You know what I mean?
Should have Clint Eastwooded her, man. Get off my lawn. Should put $1,000 right in her face. Get off my lawn. Zipper head.
Yeah, they give classes on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful.
Yeah, Islam is a fucked up religion. I don't even really consider it a religion. That shit's a fucking death cult. You've dealt with those people, Rob. You know what I'm talking about. They're a fucking death cult.
Ain't good.
Now, Patriots out there asking, was 100 a cartoon? There was CGI, but I don't know if it's enough to classify it as a cartoon, Patriot. It comes close. But if we're going to go that way, I would have to classify Who Framed Roger Rabbit a cartoon before 100. Or 300, whichever it was. Fuck. I don't remember. Fuck. Yeah. Man, I am so beat. G-Webs is out there. Evening, sir.
Hey, G-Webs.
I think we're going to call this one early because I am beat. We just did a goofy show tonight. I mean, yeah, you got, you said 100, Patriot, and I ran with it because I couldn't remember either. Don't feel bad, man. It wasn't just you. I knew where you were going with it, so if that matters any.
300.
Yeah,
With the Spartans and...
yeah, the Spartans, yeah. Like I said, there was a lot of CGI in that, but I don't know if that qualifies it as a cartoon.
Good movie though. I like that, man. Gonna use use the enemy as mortars in my wall. Like, yeah, that's some cool stuff. And the whole, kicking the dude down the well thing, like coming in here talking to my lady like that. Who the hell you think you are? This is Sparta.
I'll tell you something funny. I was a big smart ass at work this week. I was sitting there doing a house, had my helper with me, and literally it was a Mexican invasion, man. They actually needed to work next door, but they all came in the house I was at looking around, wasn't ready yet. And my God, there was 10 of them at least come walking in the door. And I was moving stuff around, getting stuff out of the garage, carried it in. They were parked everywhere. They were still more coming. They were jockeying out in the streets and trying to get stuff, and people checking to see if stuff's ready. And just, it was a mess of people. I couldn't believe it, man. And they were all standing in the living room. I looked at my helper. I said, Jesus Christ. I said, somebody call Sam Houston. You know what I mean? And as soon as I said that, the door opened up, and here come walking in one of the tile guys, and he's straight. I think he Korean, but he's straight Oriental, man. The great big round rimmed glasses, jappy, everything. And just as soon as I said that, then I was like, and you might as well get goddamn MacArthur while you're at it.
On that front, did you see where the mayor of New York City was whining because of all the illegals in New York City? He's like, hey, we didn't ask for this. Like, yeah, you fucking did when you declared yourself a sanctuary city, you son of a bitch.
I saw he moved them out to an island. That sounds shitty. That sounds like a concentration camp. What do you mean you moved them out to an island?
Martha's Vineyard.
No, it wasn't one of the nice places.
No, they did. They sent a bunch of them up to Martha's Vineyard.
I know, but they were building like a temporary place in the city, and everybody threw a fit about it, and they moved them out on something that's actually on a little island, so like they're separated from society and stuff out there. I mean, what's up with that, man? That ain't cool.
I don't know.
Winter's coming and shit. They're building like tents. I mean, you know, and it gets cold in New York City now. A tent just ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, it's already cold here. And island out there, well, obviously, you know, by the water is always worse. So,
I was shocked into the 60s.
I was gonna say, depending what island, there's a couple out. You know, there's actually a few, but some have been used in the past for, you know, they're actually old forts and whatnot, which were strategic back in the day, obviously for the area. But basically, some of those have facilities already. So, you know, they're depending what islands. That's why I was kind of trying to see if you had a name, because some are pretty much set, not for that, but they've been used similar to that purpose for pretty much forever. So
I think I heard this island has like a water treatment center there or something like that, and has like an old mental hospital there.
Staten Island?
Nah, I would have remembered Staten. That's famous. It was a little island I'd never heard of, but there is some things there. One of them was like an old mental hospital, and the other one's like, you know, like city industrial stuff, like a water treatment, sewage treatment, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways, it ain't the park where they had them at the first place.
Oh, there's one like little island, little thing. It's got a little drawbridge that goes to it. I think off like the West Side Highway, I believe, or you can get to it. I think, going by memory here. And I was told it was a mental institution. The place looked like a damn paradise from the outside. I'm sure it don't look like that from the inside, but it was a smaller, you know, I don't know, maybe 15-acre, something like that, island. So maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know. There's a few.
Yeah, it might be it. Who knows? How many mental institutions could they possibly have in New York City? Oh, don't answer that.
Yeah,
that whole place is an asylum.
The crazy part, most of them are closed down now. You know, they're closed down. Basically, everybody got put off to like smaller state homes, group home type things, and Now a lot of those got shut down. So now a lot of these people are out on the streets, like, and they say like, oh, he's crazy. Like it's really a thing. Like they really are crazy. They're just,
Hmm.
the police get tired of moving them around. The hospitals are pissed because they get in there, they got to guard them, feed them, all this shit, kick them back out. It's a
Yeah.
big freaking mess, man. And obviously, it's like the streets kill the people. Like you put a person like that on the street for a couple of years, they end up dead by the river. Somebody, abuses them, starves them to death by taking all their money or something. I mean, it's pretty shitty. Like,
Yeah.
for us being such a giving country and this and that, like they moved all the mentally didn't have a choice people out for the people that had a choice with a damn drug problem because the state gets more money for it.
Hmm.
And so, yeah.
Well, and then you had the federal government went in after the scandals from the 70s and started shutting them all down under Carter and continued under Reagan.
It's a big problem. It's a problem for the hospitals, it's a problem for the police, and it's a problem for the average citizen, especially when they don't want you to defend yourself. When these people are like batshit crazy,
Hmm.
they'll run up, kick your car in traffic. You say like, "Oh, excuse me, you okay?" And they try to attack you. You know what I mean? Like crazy,
Yeah.
TV crazy.
Yeah. And if the police have to arrest them because of that, and they find out that they have like schizophrenia or something, they can only hold them for 3 days, and they got to kick
They
them back
don't
out on
even
the street
arrest
again.
them half the time.
Yeah.
They'll,
Because
they
there's no point.
destroy your property and shit, and they tell them to walk. Like it just happened out here on my block not long ago. Like the
Yeah.
whole neighborhood basically chased the cops out because they refused to do anything about it. And the
Yeah.
guy picked up a liquor bottle and threw it at the other neighbor's
Well,
car right in front of the police, like as he was leaving.
well, you got to look at it too. New York's one of those places that said under if the value of the crime is under this amount, they don't give a shit. They're not going to do
Well,
it. They're
that's
not going to do anything
crazy,
to them
man.
anyway.
Like hell no.
I mean,
So it's a problem, man. It's a
yeah.
big problem.
And even before that shit, like I said, if they can only hold them for 3 days, and then they got to kick them back out by federal law unless they get a judge to sign off on a longer order, and in 3 days that ain't going to happen because they have to have a hearing and all that other shit first. It's a bunch of bullshit. The mentally ill in this country are not taken care of properly. Evening, John.
A lot of art. I tried giving this dude like a dollar or two one time. The guy told me no, you can't take the big ones. So I had to give him like a few bucks and change and like a soda and shit. You know what I mean?
God.
Like somebody's robbing this dude. Like he's one of these people that shouldn't be on the streets. That's the only reason why I do give him something when I see him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a damn shame.
Well, that's a far cry from the cartoon chat we were on. You guys wanted a serious topic, you got one.
I'd like to buy the world a Coke.
Yeah, the one Smurf chip was hot.
Yeah, John says left only want people like Fetterman because they want more power and control. That Fetterman bragging about how he let some murderer out and the guy went out and killed somebody else. Well, gee whiz, I wonder why that happened, Fetterman, you stupid son of a bitch. And then the guy that he's running against is Dr. Oz, and he ain't no fucking better because that guy wants to take everybody's guns. He said it numerous times on his goddamn show.
Hey, here's some news we've talked about. Didn't Biden just pardon like 6,000 people for weed charges or something?
He was talking about doing it. I don't know if he actually did or not.
Which would probably make absolutely no difference because from what I heard, it's all about past things. And, how many times have you heard of somebody catching a federal charge for smoking a joint or something?
You don't. If the federal charge, it's got to be a lot.
I don't know. I think it's one of them things where it's just, he wants you to vote for him or something. I don't know what the deal is.
He was talking.
Don't make much sense.
He was talking about states are making it legal. The federal government should. I saw a little speech that he gave, and I hardly watched the man, but he gave a little speech. They doing that where they want to get rid of that. Well, then take that off at 4473 then. if this is how you're going to feel
Well, even
about it.
if they make it
But
legal, it'll still be on the 4473 because alcohol's still on the 4473.
they it's real close to me right here. Scott's Lawn Care. They make, the Scott's fertilizer, the plant foods, the all that. Scott Chemicals is based and made right here. Uh, to stay within the law because of
Don't
federal
drink the
law.
local water.
Um, they would love to sell like fertilizer and stuff to grow weed in. You know what I mean? But they can't right now. So what that company did is they invested and spun off in like 25 different companies that make like light bulbs and lamps and stuff like that for the growing. They've made a ton of fucking money, dude, over like the last 5 years or something because of that. That was like they interviewed their CEO on the thing I was watching. That was like a huge move for them. And they're pushing for that too because, like, if he legalized federally marijuana, they got like a whole fertilizer business ready to go. You know what I mean? Make a bunch of money. But he was supporting Joe Biden's decision on those pardons and stuff, but that's what he was getting at. And I tell you what, this dude I drive by, I don't much anymore, but I used to for years. Drove by the place every day, and the boss, he doesn't drive to work. He comes to work in a little black helicopter and lands it right there next to the building. Goes in his office. So like, he's a rich, smart dude, but they were saying like all the stockholders and they were showing his stock prices and all that. They're making a fortune off that.
Defense Dad's asking, anyone know how it works if somebody uses CBD cream for joint pain as far as if it shows positive for a drug test? Yeah, it's not supposed to.
I don't think it does.
But there is but there are people that have come back with a positive from using CBD, even though it's not supposed to.
I think some have THC in it and some doesn't. So and that's
some of it may have a trace amount that isn't enough to get you high, but it's enough to show up in your test. So you gotta be real careful using that stuff.
People say it worked. I don't know. I know a guy that I know one guy that uses it, and I know another guy that's kid was on it. Like he was, I don't know who you was seeing, but they were recommended trying that for something. I don't know. I don't want to talk about medical shit. I don't know, but and it seemed to work, so they were happy with it. So, but I guess you got to be really careful. There's everybody's making it, you know what I mean, type shit. And, you want to get your stuff from a certified, respected place or whatever. So you can, trust what's in it so you don't end up having an issue.
Yeah, if you work for one of those places where it does random drug testing, you got to be careful what cold medicine you take because there's cold medicines that'll come back positive for methamphetamine. They're generally the ones that they keep locked up behind the counter at like your local pharmacy. You gotta be careful taking that stuff like Sudafed and that kind of shit. It can come back as a positive for methamphetamine because that's one of the ingredients that they use for cooking this shit. That's why they keep it locked up in the back and only let you buy so much of it at a time. I've
heard poppy seeds will get you too, like if you have those on food and whatever. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they say. I
don't know. Yeah, the urban legend I heard about that one is it'll come back as testing positive for an opioid, but they're not the same poppy, so I don't see how that one's possible.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what I've heard.
I heard something last week. Guy was trying to be funny. He was on one of them Fox shows, but it made a lot of sense to me, I guess. It'd probably be a big money maker. They make like pot brownies and pot candies and cookies and candy bars and stuff now. Why don't they make pot healthy food? Like pot carrots, you know what I mean? And pot cauliflower. So like you you're getting the pot or whatever that you wanted, but you're eating healthy instead of eating junk food. Wouldn't that be better? I mean, you would probably sell the hell out of that, man. I mean,
This one
these
will make
people
Rob feel
nowadays
good.
love their health food. I mean, why sell it in a candy bar, man? Put it in like a carrot, man. You could get like $10 for one carrot. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think you make a good point. I mean, that you could probably spread it out into something different like that. 'Cause there probably would be a market in a sense, but I don't know. I think stereotypically, it's it makes sense to be junk food, snack food.
You
The
could make like
stereotypic is, they get the munchies. They just want to sit around and eat all day. So,
Yeah, it'd be
yeah,
like it'd be like the Simpsons when Homer created tomacos. Remember where he crossbred tomatoes and tobacco, and everybody was getting addicted to the tomatoes because of the nicotine content.
Brill- brilliant business move. That's what I'm saying, man.
But yeah, Rob, that one should make you feel good. What G-Web said right there. No comment on that comment.
I figured Rob would be all aboard with
cool.
my healthy weed idea. It could be like weed salad and shit, man.
I thought he'd
I
be
put
all
it
over
in
the
a
endorsement that
dressing or
G-Webs
something.
just gave him.
We could get. They
No, I
could
like
make
the
weed
endorsement there
macaroni and
too.
cheese. Macaroni
I
and
had to
weed.
blow it up.
Cheesy mac and weed. Right there. I invented it, man.
Oh, I'm sure somebody's already done it. They cook that shit into everything, Jason. Oh my god! Remember the episode of Sanford and Son where Grady found some and he thought it was wild parsley and he was putting that shit in everything and everybody was getting freaking high as hell.
I don't know why they call it hamburger helper. I think it does just fine by itself.
I don't know. One of my customers has a medical card or whatever you call it here. He's had the gummies and all this crap. I mean, he's over there offering them to me sometimes. I'm like, I don't want that shit. Basically, he's saying it didn't do shit for him. So I don't know. I think there's, kind of, I've heard that from a few people. It seems like those edibles don't really do it. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's, I don't know. I don't know. Seems like a lot of money for people to question if it works or something.
See, they need to eat it with healthy food. That's probably why they're not getting anything from it.
This dude don't eat nothing
Candy
else.
bars nullifying it.
Shit, man, I ate healthy today. I ate some oatmeal raisin cookies. That's um um shit. It's fruit because there's raisins in it, and then it's fiber in the oatmeal. That's healthy, right? That's health food, isn't it?
Sounds healthier than what I ate.
We've been joined out there in the chat by C&T Designs and Arms. Evening.
I also heard a rumor those chocolate bars might make you tired and then horny.
Okay, what?
Damn them things.
Well, what did you say? That?
That's only if you get a blue one, right?
Again, I didn't catch what he said. What did you say did that, Rob?
Those chocolate bars, the
What
ones
chocolate
they had
bars?
with the weed in them.
Oh, I've never had them, so I couldn't tell you. But
Well, from what I hear, you might want to get the wife one.
yeah, no, she can't have that stuff because they do periodic drug testing where she works.
No one can eat just one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's where they get you with those things. They get those the food with the weed in it, and it makes you hungry again. So you're going to get more of it. It's just going to make you hungry again because it's going to constantly be an endless cycle of having the munchies. It's a scam.
All I'm saying is don't steal my health food, pot food idea. We got it on the show right here, man. I'll sue you in copyright court.
If nothing else, you'll make a lot of vegans happy, Jason.
Yeah, man, they could have like lactose-free soy weed milk, man. You know what I mean? Put it in something healthy for you.
I don't know how that would taste.
Diet weed food or something, man.
That might taste like bong water. I don't know who would want to drink that.
Something. I'm just saying the people buy anything, man. You could sell them lead and tell them it was healthy, and they'd buy it.
Oh yeah, I know
you
people will buy anything. Going back to Islam, they got this thing over in Saudi Arabia called the Zamzam well. It's supposed to be over where Mecca is, and it's a big scam where Saudi Arabia is selling this bottled water, saying it's from that Zamzam well. It's coming from the Saudi. If you look at the pictures and the videos that comes from the Zamzam well, they're pumping the country's water supply into that well, saying it's some magical well that's been there since the time of Muhammad, and selling that shit to Muslims around the world. And it's just a big scam. So yeah, people will buy anything.
Like Nestle water or half of the other brands got in trouble 4 years ago.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, they got to put PWS on the bottles now. On bottled water, they passed a law. You know what that stands for? Public Water System.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells you what, you know, are they really purifying their water? Are they really doing this and that? Or do they just got a machine hooked up to the water line and it's filling bottles? You know,
the town of Berkeley Springs, which was the county seat in the county we used to live in here in West Virginia, they have Berkeley Springs water. It's the brand Berkeley Springs water. It comes in it's got a green label on it and stuff. And you see people walking around down the downtown area of that little town with that bottled water all the time. I guarantee you they never once read that label, because it tells you right on it comes from Berkeley Springs water supply. It's the same shit they would get out of their tap. And they're walking around with these bottles of water of it like it's something special. It's like, Jesus Christ, you people are stupid. Yeah, it's one thing if you got to go to the grocery store and you're shopping and you need something to drink and you grab a bottle of water. It's another thing if you're walking out your fucking house with a bottle of it. Get yourself a goddamn refillable water bottle and just fill it from your goddamn tap. It's the same thing.
See, I could understand like city water or something being available for people to get in larger supplies or whatever, but that's just for but it should be marked as that. It shouldn't be as spring water or filtered or whatever.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I know. But, there's a lot of people, I can't say a lot, but I know people that, they fill a bucket from a creek almost sometimes. Like they're off grid. There's still people out there like that. Some people by choice, some by just stuck until they can get a well pump fixed or whatever. But, so it would be nice, some of these stores had a fill up place, but you got to be honest, and you shouldn't be charging like it's some magical spring water shit if it's just coming out the tap. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah, I can see like if they were buying that to save up, because it was cheaper than the other bottled waters, right? So I could see if they were buying it and storing it for an emergency situation, like if there was a disaster and they couldn't drink their water, like if there was some kind of chemical spill.
Maybe they're just real proud of their town, Rich. They said, "Damn, that's some good water."
It's the same thing that's coming out of their tap.
I know, and they're so damn proud they don't mind paying for it to show off and be like, "Damn, that's some good water, some high quality H2O."
I'll be damned if I'm paying extra for the same goddamn thing I getting out of my goddamn water tap just to pay for the plastic bottle.
Extra. Look at all those Mercedes guys out there. They don't mind paying extra.
Fuck, man. If you got a BMW, you're going to be paying extra for your goddamn heated seats if you want them to work. You know about that one, right? Did we talk about that last week, where BMW is charging a subscription fee for people to be able to use their heated seats?
Yeah, I think it got brought up. Yeah, it's gonna be the way of all of them shortly. So, I mean, it's already out there. It's a new format or whatever they calling it. But yeah, you're gonna lease your electronic batteries instead of owning them, and like the software in your car now, in some cases you can't touch. There's gonna be a lot more that you can't touch. But yeah, and you're going to have to pay for upgrades, just like with your cell phone, because after a while your car is going to start glitching out, or you're going to want the new bells and whistles. So that's going to cost you, sir. So yeah, it's all a bunch of shit. We're going to be completely dependent on China, from the sounds of it. Biden gets his way.
If Biden gets his way, we're all going to die in a nuclear war.
They're going to own land next to all of our sensitive places in the U.S., and they're going to control ports, and they're going to make all our crucial stuff. All our ambulances and fire trucks will be electric with a Chinese battery. And
well, didn't you hear Biden? Didn't you hear Biden the other day when he said we're at the highest nuclear threat that we've been in since 1963? So he was referencing the Cuban Missile Crisis. He's saying that what's going on now is as bad as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Where Khrushchev had parked
to be honest, does he even know what day it is?
Cuba. And well, I was going to say, but then again, this is the same guy who went to an auto plant earlier in the week and said he got 2 words for you: Made in America. Joe, that's 3. That's not 2. That's 3. Unless he was talking about the character from The Tick, the superhero, the female superhero, made in America. Maiden as in, woman, a maiden. Maiden America was her name. So unless he was talking about her, made in America is 3 words.
You think he's going to pardon Hunter Biden if anything happens?
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a huge dust up because that's sketchy.
I hope he does. I would expect him to, and kind of hope he does. So people out there that still think everything's legit might get a wake up call.
Well, the Constitution did not.
Even if they charge him, he's not going to jail like you or I would. I mean, we know this. So, I mean, what the hell? What are they going to do? Put him on house arrest in a mansion? And they're just going to send prostitutes over to him with coke and shit? I mean, come on. Yeah, this ain't no, it's two classes, man. Well, shit, 3 classes, in a sense. It's just, it's crazy. So let it be seen. Let everybody know true colors and all that.
As far as the pardon's concerned, it also depends on if he's charged on the state level or federal level, because on the state level, the president does not have the power to pardon. He only has the power to pardon federal crimes.
Yeah,
if Hunter's charged on the state level,
nobody fucks with Joe. He'll find a way.
Yeah, it's got to be federal, man, because one of them's a federal gun case and one's federal taxes.
Yeah, those cases would, but he also is. There's also talk of him in some state, I forget which one it was, filing charges against him as well. That charges there, Biden couldn't pardon him from. So that's what I'm saying. We have to wait and see how this plays out. And if he's charged, if he starts ratting his dad out, that'll be freaking hilarious. Biden's dirty as hell with all that shit going on. Who do you think the big guy is?
It won't do nothing.
You get a junkie under the lights in an interrogation room, they will talk.
Doesn't matter though. You can talk, but nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. It doesn't fit the narrative. They got, it's the same thing with Pelosi
The
husband.
thing is,
You know?
it could be not fit their narrative all at once. He starts talking enough, they're going to
And he
have
ends
to
up
act. They're
dead.
not going to have a choice in the matter.
Well, he ends
They
up dead
Epstein him,
or
man.
bought off, or they just bulldoze it with news and you never even hear about it. They
Yeah,
control all that shit.
Oh, something like that, you're going to hear about it. It's going to leak.
yeah, he ain't got to squeal on nobody, man.
And
They
then what?
Epstein him.
What have we done so far with this prostitute, incest, drug dealing son of a bitch already that's still on the streets doing everything? Like, if that was you or me making a video whenever 2 years ago, our ass be in jail. Like, they ain't doing nothing, man. It's all a
Yeah.
show.
I'm just saying, if they get him on enough charges, that's all I'm saying. I'm taking devil's advocate here, okay? I'm doing what Squib always hates when people do. If they get him on enough charges and he starts talking, it's going to come out. You're going to find out about it. They're not going to be able to shut
but they
that
don't
up.
care. We already know about it. How many leaks have been out there? How many
It's
photos?
alleged. It's
What do we got to
alleged
know?
at this point. If he is in there in an
God.
interrogation room and he is putting this out there, because Hunter hasn't actually said anything about this stuff yet. It's just alleged to have on a laptop that nobody's ever really analyzed. Okay?
But we've seen the videos. We've actually seen them.
I know.
That
That video really doesn't show anything that they can prosecute on. That's the thing. We haven't seen the full video. We've only heard
that
snippets.
video would have my ass in prison.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. There's been worse that people have done than what was in that video that they didn't go to jail for.
Well, look what we've seen here in the recent past. We all see the video of I'm leaving here in 4 hours. If you don't fire the prosecutor, you ain't getting your $1 billion. But now that video doesn't exist. And what does every single one of them say?
It still exists. That video's still out there. You can still find it.
Yeah, but they say it doesn't exist. There's not one shred, not one speck of proof of that. And that's all they have to say. So Hunter Biden can say
it was
whatever.
Just him playing hardball diplomatically, which they can't say because that's been done before.
The FBI
not the first person to do that.
Accidentally lose the evidence or something. Yeah, that's what they always do. It got bleach bid, or it was left in somebody's bathroom closet or something along those lines. And it mysteriously blows up like the AT&T place that nobody ever talks about.
But as far as the whole Joe Biden video thing, they just say, "Oh, that was just him playing hardball politically," and and as far as the diplomacy and everything, and they're not wrong. That's been done before. Joe Biden wasn't the first one to do that, and you swing your power around and you smack them upside, the smaller countries around upside the head and get them to do what you want them to do. That's using financial aid and stuff. That's happened before. That's not the first time that's been done. So, I mean, does it look bad on Biden? Yeah. Is he the first politician from the United States that's ever done that somewhere from either party? Nope. Will he be the last one to ever do that from? Nope.
It's not like he was wanting him to change a
what makes that look bad? Let me finish,
a
Jason,
political thing. He told him to fire the prosecutor.
I'm well aware. That's what I was going to get to. That's what I was getting to, but you cut me off. What makes it look bad in Biden, really made it look bad in Biden's case, was the fact that it was the prosecutor who was looking into something that his son was involved in. If that wouldn't have been an aspect of it, and by the way, the guy that he said was corrupt actually was corrupt, but so was everybody else over there in frickin' Ukraine, including the Zelensky guy who's wanting us to frickin' nuke Russia before Russia has a chance to nuke him. That's what made it look bad, made it look worse on Biden when he did it, was the fact that this guy was investigating his son at the time. But there was already talk about, before any of that came out, that guy was corrupt and that the Bush administration wanted him gone out of that position before Biden ever got in there to do anything about to pull that shit. So there was that. But yeah, that made it look worse.
Hey, it
But
takes one to know one. Sounds like he was
yeah,
the best guy for the job.
yeah, it's just, I mean, that was just, that's the way that game's played. So it is what it is on that front. But Biden has done a lot worse shit than that.
I believe the truth, not the facts.
Hmm. Oh, somebody should ask Biden how many words is "Build Back Better" since he thinks "Made in America" is 2 words. "Build Back Better" he'd probably say is 4. But that was his idiotic campaign slogan, if you remember. Build back better. Build what back, Joe?
No malarkey. Isn't that what
Yeah,
he
that
has
was
for?
another one. Yeah, that was during the primaries. The malarkey stops here, or no more malarkey, or some shit. Who the fuck uses malarkey anymore?
He did give us mega maga though. He did do good there.
You remember what the roaches was in reference to, right? We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you were here for that
Yeah,
episode.
that's. I don't get some of that stuff on the campaign trail. If anybody in the world on the other side had said anything like that he said 100 things, they wouldn't have a chance, you know?
Yeah. And what happened to Rob? I don't know. He just dropped. Let's see. Did he have? Oh, he's got to change phones. He put it in the private chat. No, Corn Pop was the good guy. Corn Pop, we talked about this too. Corn Pop
Corn
was
Pop was a bad
misunderstood.
guy.
He was trying to keep the creepy ass white guy away from those kids.
Yeah, yeah.
When he saw the kids petting Joe Biden's leg and Joe getting the creepy ass smile on his face when they were jumping on his lap when he was sitting on the lifeguard bench, yeah, Corn Pop was just trying to get rid of the creepy old ass white dude who was molesting them kids. Corn Pop was the hero in that story.
World needs more people like Corn Pop.
Damn right. Freedom for Corn Pop. The truth must come out. Rob's probably thinking to himself, what the hell are they talking about? He come back in here now I'm talking about Corn Pop.
Yeah, man, I thought Corn Pop was no bueno.
No, No, you don't remember a couple weeks ago what the theory on Corn Pop? That Corn Pop was actually the good guy. He was just trying to save his kids from creepy ass Joe Biden and his molesting the kids in the swimming pool.
I don't recall, but it makes sense.
I mean, it was Joe that was telling the story. Trying to make him. He's trying to make him look like the bad guy to try and change things up.
I think the truth is Corn Pop kicked Joe's ass.
Uh-huh.
Problem.
Corn Pop left Joe Biden looking like Leroy Brown at the end of that song. Leroy looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. Well, that was Joe. I don't know about that, Abby. He's sniffed grown women too.
And
He was
half
caught on.
grown.
He was caught on camera when he was down in Florida for the hurricane shit, trying to sniff somebody there on the stage. Some lady that was standing there.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
He walks up to her, shakes her hand, and starts putting his nose closer to her hair. She starts backing away from him.
Just can't help himself.
No. His nose is like a magnet to women's hair. What the fuck? Or female hair, I should say, because they don't have to be full-grown women. They can be kids or women.
How can he still smell after having COVID 5 times?
Oh, man, yeah. He gets COVID, goes into seclusion for 2 weeks, comes out of seclusion, and catches it again right after. What are the odds of that actually happening? I think it was just them trying to get him out of the way. Hey, look, we can use this COVID to get Joe out of here for a few weeks. You know, Joe Biden may be the only person to allegedly win an election without even campaigning. How many campaign events did Joe Biden have?
Few small ones.
Yeah, and you had like what, 20 people show up to each one in their car because you weren't allowed to get out of your car. It was like going to a drive-in campaign event instead of a drive-in movie.
Had more haters, hecklers honking than they had supporters.
Uh-huh.
But it was like the media and like 5 people that were lost.
Yeah, right. Abby says he catches it because he keeps sniffing people. That may be it. You may be onto something there. God, I can't believe I stayed up this long. I've been up since like 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning.
I got sleep last night, thankfully. Well, I should say this morning, but yeah. An event, road trip, got home, a few drinks. Think I went to bed around 4. So, I slept pretty good.
I was going to ask, oh, you got sleep last night? Misfits have a headache?
Yeah, I think we both woke up with a headache today.
No, I meant last night. Does she have a headache? Never.
Oh, no.
You know, the
You
not
might
tonight, do you have a headache thing? Yeah, I think I got to bed last night at 11, woke up at like 2:30 ish. I have not had much sleep. But what else is new? I am cursed to not sleep. Maybe that's my punishment for picking on Muslims all the time. I don't know. Nah, Allah ain't real. Allah's a figment of Muhammad's imagination, and Muhammad is a figment of some other guy's imagination.
No rest for the wicked.
It's difficult to sleep when your brain never shuts off.
Maybe this is true.
You're always thinking 2, 3 things, or got a job tomorrow. I'm walking through the job in my mind through the night. So
Yeah.
I show up tomorrow. I'm like literally jumping out of the truck and grabbing this and going this. She's grabbing the cord, got this. Like we're just boom, boom, boom. No breaks, none of this shit. Knock it out. We're done.
See, man, if you just eat some, if you'd eat some weed carrots, you'd sleep like a baby.
Yeah, I might. But then I wouldn't make it to work the next day.
To Weedos. Tomatoes and weed. Put them on your burger. Put them in your salad, Rob.
I was thinking tortilla chips, weed tortilla chips. Doritos.
Oh man, you'd corner the market. The potheads would love you. They could just get their Doritos and skip the middleman on the weed part.
Yeah, make it have like health cereal, man. Be like Wheaties instead of Wheaties, you know. Instead of Bruce Jenner on the box, you get like Snoop Dogg or something.
Yeah, and Cheerios would still stay the same. They just changed the I to a Y. Cheery as in happy. Happy-O's. Cheerios.
They could do like wake and bake vitamins or something like that, right?
Wait.
One a day plus weed.
We come up with some really weird concepts on this show. Yeah, Rob with his toilet car, now Jason with his weed vegetables.
Dude, you give it like 10 years, everybody's going to have a toilet in their car. Like America's getting lazier and slower.
Well, shit, that's how you're the way they're going. That's how you're gonna have to power this shit. You know? Gonna have an electric car that runs on an electric generator powered by methane. You got to fart into the damn seat to get the car to go.
I can see the ads now. Don't risk pulling off at one of those rest stops. Are you crazy?
Shit
you
in
know
your
what
car.
people do there? Just get a car with a toilet in it. You'll be set.
Yeah.
You can keep on driving.
The Toyota I had it and I lost. I can't remember how I pronounced it in my head.
Help me get out of the car. My legs went down.
Avoid the glory hole. Get a Toyota today.
It just drops a turd out the back when you get too close.
Yeah, but like I said, help me get out of the car. My legs went numb.
Now, does the car toilet come with reading material?
Hey, man, remember how I used to pull up to the car and ask them if they got any Grey Poupon? You pull up now, man. Hey, man, you got a roll of Charmin?
Pardon me, but do you happen to have any Charmin? Nah, they'll come with bidets. The rich people have bidets in their car. The ones that hook into the toilet water supply.
Excuse me, good sir. Could you spare a few sheets of White Cloud?
Is that even a thing anymore? I haven't seen that in years. I don't know. Last time I saw White Cloud toilet paper in a store.
I don't know, man. I'm strictly a Scott's guy.
Dude, you buy that cheap shit?
Charmin's alright. It's fluffy, you know.
Ooh, John Wayne.
Curl up.
Yeah, he likes that John Wayne toilet paper. Rough, tough, and don't take shit off of anybody.
Man, Scott's works, man. And then, you know, when you got kids, like those 1,000 sheets, they add up, man. I'm telling you, I ain't got to worry about that now, but, you know, I don't know. Like, I learned some hard lessons with that cheap-ass toilet paper. Or you go get the nice fluffy shit and it's gone in half a day. Like, oh, hell no. I don't know. Scott's works for me. It beats a freaking leaf or damn, you know,
shirt sleeve
or something. So.
Bernie gets out there. He says, "Good morning." G23 responds, "Go back to sleep, Bernie. These people have lost their damn minds." It's not wrong at this point. I think we have. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours, so I guess we can start wrapping this up. I mean, it's been another weird episode. Last week we had a fairly tame episode. We actually talked about guns and shit. Tried getting, or was that 2 weeks ago? Fuck, I don't even remember. But we tried getting, that last episode I remember doing at this show, we tried getting John Z to pick his first gun and whatnot. So, you know, that was a series. Tonight we were just all over the place with the insanity. And it's all Velma's fault. So if you want to blame anybody, blame Velma and send your hate mail to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. I happen to know Yankee has a direct link to Velma Dinkley's email address. He will forward all that email to her. So send it to him, and he will forward it to Velma Dinkley.
To be fair, whenever you talk about toilet paper, it's going to be a shitty situation.
Yeah, but let's see. We talked about Velma turning lesbian. How the Smurfs just appear out of nowhere. What, God, I forget what all else we talked about. So much stupid shit tonight. We snuck in picking on Muslims. I'm sorry, you gonna say something, Jason?
Yeah, weed food.
Well, I didn't get to that far yet.
Well, weed
Try,
health food. Jason's
yeah,
asking.
I'm trying to
Carrots,
go
to be
through. I was trying to
specific.
go through it chronologically, so I'm stopping to think how we were. How we got to the weed health food. I think that was because of Scooby and Shaggy being potheads, and that led to the weed food thing. And then from there, we went totally off the rails at that point. And yeah, so you want to find out anything else? You got to go back and rewatch the whole thing from the beginning because we've been all over the place. I don't even remember the chronological order completely anymore. So, and it hasn't even been 2 hours. So that'll give you an idea how crazy off the rails we went on some of this stuff. So, with that said, Jason, you got anything you want to plug or anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
Nope. Uh, Thanks for the invite. It's fun to hang out. Glad to see everybody. And, see you around on the next one.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'd just like to say I was never here, but check out R&L displays. And I got a bunch of videos up, some shorts of the Rod of Iron Freedom Festival, and also a couple of videos up. So if you're interested or want to take a peek, check it out. There was cooler stuff going on that I missed because I got there late. They actually had a skydiving team and stuff like that there, from what I was told. Landed right there in the parking lot. Some, obviously some low flying aircraft. Not necessarily low flying. I don't know. I wasn't there. I heard it was spectacular, and of course I showed up after that. So, and there was also the ability. People were shooting machine guns up at the range too, a few machine guns. So Kevin from New York showed me some footage of him shooting ones up there. So it was pretty cool. So unfortunately, my videos leave out some cool stuff. I didn't make it to the range or see some of the earlier today's events. But if you're interested, check it out. There's information online. Maybe try to make it next year. Other than that, eat a salad. Uh, don't get brainwashed by the Glock people, and have a great evening.
Yeah, I tried talking Amy into driving up here. She's like, no, that's too far of a drive. She's like, if we would have had money to get a motel room or something, then maybe, but as a drive up and drive back, she's like, no, that's way too far. So,
How many hours is it for you?
4.5, 5 hours, something like that.
Wow. I didn't think it'd be that far. I figured it would be maybe 2.5.
Well, Harrisburg's 3 hours,
Yeah.
3.5 hours from here. So then you got to add on another, what, 2 hours from Harrisburg, somewhere around there.
And this is about 40 minutes below Scranton. So,
Yeah.
man. Well, maybe next time. So be a great place to get together. Family event. There's stuff for younger kids up to teens to do. Stuff to win, competitions to get in. There's all types of stuff. So
Yeah, that was another thing that she wasn't too keen on, was doing all the walking around and stuff, because she's still recovering from her surgery and that too.
Well, that's the one, I guess, nice thing. The place isn't huge. It's not like SHOT Show or something. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a, I don't know, big, big, big box store parking lot size where most of the vendors and stuff is going on. The range is a bus. They bus you out up to the range. It's right there on the property, but it's a walk. So, um, and a lot of the other events take place in the field that's just across, which isn't too far. Basically, it's not too much as far as walking as some places might be, but Anywho, yeah, but yeah, maybe like I said, maybe next time or some of the other guys make it out. So
Or maybe you can make it down to the Great American Outdoor Show next year.
mm,
That's not that far from you.
maybe I
It's
don't
down in
know. I'm really
Harrisburg.
not interested though, because it's just walking around looking at guns. That's all there is to do. Like it
No,
can
you
go
can
to
you
a
can actually
range.
buy and stuff. You can buy
Yeah,
a gun.
but
They
I
sell.
don't
There are vendors there that sell.
know. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm an outside guy.
Well, there's other stuff to do in Harrisburg. You got the Civil War Museum there and stuff, which was kind of cool to go to. We went to that the first time we went up because we went up for a whole weekend that time. This time we couldn't go the whole weekend because of our work schedule. The Civil War Museum was kind of cool. All the stuff they have on there, they had there.
Is it free?
I don't remember if it was free or not. It might
Uh,
you
this
might get in
place is
free as
free.
a veteran. I
And
don't
parking's
remember.
free.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was free for veterans or not. It was either free or there was a discount for veterans. You'd have to, but it didn't cost that much to get in. It wasn't real super expensive to get in.
Oh, it's an option. If it's in Harrisburg, I mean that's reachable. I mean,
Yeah,
manageable. So it's not really my thing, but to go hang out or something, if I got the ability and time, or the money and time, then it's something I potentially do. So we'll see. So yeah, hopefully we'll work it out some point, some way.
yeah. G23 says, "Yep, trying to justify the shows. They lost their damn minds." Hey man, you were out there from the beginning of the show, so you must have been entertained. G23. That's all I got to say. Generally, people don't stick around and watch them if they don't find it entertaining, unless they're being made by their wives, which I don't know if that's the case with him or not. But yeah. So, you gonna say something, Rob?
Yeah, but I shouldn't. You never know what 23's and motives could be.
All right. And on that note, we will bid you adieu and say goodnight for tonight, and we will catch you later on somewhere at some time. Not sure when, not sure where, but we will. So until then, have a good night, and don't let Rob's toilet cars bite you. Don't flush yourself down the toilet. So later. I hit the end broadcast button and it didn't end.